I love to travel, and here are some of my favorite tips. I highly recommend an app called TripIt. So it'll basically import all of your itinerary, including flights, hotels, activities, and organizes them. So especially perfect for if you're doing multiple cities, multiple countries, so you can make sure that you're not missing a leg of the trip. It'll have all of your confirmation numbers in one area. I used to hate the feeling of feeling bloated, gassy. Every time I'm eating on the plane, it just feels like stacks of food are lining up in my body. So as a doctor, I also recommend taking 2 tablets of Pepto-Bismol before every flight, and it'll help reduce the bloating and the gassiness. I cannot recommend global entry enough. You basically pay a small fee, and for 5 years, basically when you enter the country, you bypass the long security line, and because you've already done a background check and an in-person interview, you're able to walk through security within a matter of minutes. TSA PreCheck is also included with global entry. A lot of credit cards will actually cover global entry, so highly recommend it. Speaking of credit cards, my favorite cards to use for points and for travel are Capital One Venture X, as well as the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I also do use Amex, but I personally found that the best value for me is the Capital One, but it just may depend on what airline you fly. So other countries or merchants that don't accept Amex, so just keep that in mind. I also feel like if you want to prioritize travel, you have to cut costs elsewhere. So personally, I only fly economy, and I think I'll probably stay that way for a long time. I would rather travel to more countries and more cities and cut costs when I can. So that I can travel, I would say that I try to be mindful of budgeting other things. Like 95% of the time I pack my lunch, I always make coffee at home. I have a 10-year-old car that drives just fine. So, I think it's just about prioritizing what is important to you. And so one thing I will say that I do spend a little bit more money on now though is direct flights. Before I used to do these like crazy 3-flight, like 8-hour layover type of flights because they were much cheaper. But I think as I've gotten older, I think if you're able to pay a little bit more, I think it's well worth the amount of time and effort you're going to save. Sometimes those cheaper flights, there's really tight layovers. And so I have run into times where, I'm dashing halfway across the airport or I have missed flights. So if you're able to pay for a direct flight, I think it's worth saving the headache. At the very least, I would also recommend learning how to say hi and thank you in the countries that you're traveling to. I feel like us Americans have kind of a bad reputation in the world. I think sometimes because we expect every person in every country that we travel to understand us and speak English. So I think if at least you can make the effort to say hi in their language and thank you, that at least shows that you're making a little bit of an effort. And I have found that it has made a difference. Those are some of my favorite tips. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know what some of your favorite tips are. And if you want a part 2, bye.